Your voice has changed. Welcome to your diary session.
Thanks, big brother.
How are you today?
I'm exhausted actually. I had to stay up late to figure out people's dialogue in the movie you asked us to do for our wager, so I was up pretty late. I'm also having a bit of an emotional week. So like on Monday, right, I had gone like round kind of to get people to basically put Fred up for Pardon Me. And after that, Soma comes to me because he's upset at me to say that I put him at the spot because I asked him in front of Fred to give my vote to Fred because he said he wanted to put me for Pardon Me, and I was like, he should just give it to Fred. And then he goes, when we're talking about the situation and everything, he asks me if they would do the same for me. And although my response to him was positive, well, I was like that, I don't do things for like my friends because I need something back from them. I actually felt like a certain type of way, because I feel like that's how I feel generally in life, and like that kind of heightens, it's heightened in this house rather, where I feel like I'm not really like the first shot of tequila, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm like the fifth shot of tequila, you know, like the one where you don't necessarily need it, but you just take it anyway. That's how I feel in my friendships, and it was like a question I chewed on, you know, and I actually thought, would, you know, they do the same for me? Because the house is a bit, the energy in the house is a bit odd, and it makes me paranoid. I don't really think that there's like loyalty or like a sense of community, even where you feel like, I just feel like I'm never going to be like anybody's first option in the house. Maybe I'm like an afterthought, like, oh yeah, Angel is also my guy, you know, and I already feel like that even outside of the house, but I guess it's heightened here. Also, like yesterday, there was a task, and there's a certain way the housemates act around tasks. You know, they're very competitive, which is good. Even I am competitive this season, but it's like toxic competition where people are like really, really sore losers, and I hate that vibe. So my team had won like the spoken word challenge for a while, and that meant a lot to me because I'm not really, I think I'm good at stuff, but I feel like my major strength is like writing, because I'm able to convey emotions. And you know, when I gave my group the idea and told them it would be a good thing if Ilebayi is also there demonstrating, and we ended up winning, I felt like that meant a lot to all of us on the team because we all contributed towards, you know, what I wrote anyway. And then after the competition, Venita goes, I've seen something, she downplays what I had done, and I wanted to say something like and be confrontational, but I feel like I just compartmentalized what I was feeling because I didn't want it to be that I had gotten into many fights in the house within the first 3 weeks. And also Soma said that I should let it keep quiet sometimes. I guess I'm working on that. But yeah, it was hard to hear that from her because I would like to think that she's my friend. And although she came to come and say sorry after that, it just felt like it's a recurring thing in like the house where, especially after task, where somebody says something very mean and insensitive, and then they come and try to put a band-aid on like a gunshot wound. So yeah, I'm having a bit of an emotional week because I'm overthinking everything, and especially regarding the Pardon Me challenge. And I think I have actually also voiced out my fears to like my friends, in quotation, where I'm like, you know, I don't feel like I'm really like your first guy and stuff like that. So yeah. Also, Biggie, sorry, when Princess left, she was like, before she left actually, she was like that, you're such a flirt. And I was like, on a more lighter note, I was like, I thought that was me and biggest thing. I did not know that, I did not know that it was a general thing, so I'm beefing you. And also, you put my money points in a fixed deposit. I don't know if it's acquiring interest, but imagine my shock when I went outside and there's a new padlock on my safe. So Biggie, please, I would like the key, and I would like you to kindly release my money unless it's accumulating interest.
And what did your friends say?
My friends say about what?
When you spoke of your concern?
I just said it in passing. It's not like I was like it's not like I said it in like a major conversation. So take for example, when I was speaking to Mercy when it was time for the pardon me thing, and I was like, oh, why are you putting up? And she was like, fraud. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Let me see if I can get more people to put fraud up. I had then gone to Shay, and then I was like, oh, Shay, that put fraud up and everything. And then he goes, Kid has 9 votes already because Kid is going around the house promising people things, etc., etc. And then I go to Ike, and Ike is like, oh, that Kid gave him 200 money points, that he might as well just take the money, blah, blah, blah. I feel like that put the house in a bit of a perspective for me. So when Ike has said that, I go back to Mercy, and I'm like, that I've actually been feeling this way in the house, where I feel like people are not necessarily loyal to their guys, because I don't know if Ike ended up actually putting fraud. I don't really trust Ike, but it was just like, oh, why would he, choose money over his guy? I don't know what he and Kid's major agreement was. And then Mercy goes, there's no loyalty in this house. And then I just tell her, I'm like, that I actually feel that way with you as well. And I just said in passing, like, I feel that way with you. I feel like if worse comes to worse, you would pick like Venita over me, which is fine. Like, I feel like we all have like a scale of importance in people's lives. But I just said in passing, it's not like I sat them down. I said the same to Venita. It's not like I sat them down and I was like, oh, like, this is how I feel, blah, blah. I just said in passing. And Mercy just really nodded, was like, yeah, she can see, like my point. Because that was also one of the reasons why when I was immune, no, I wasn't immune that week. Yeah, I think I was immune that week. Yes, I was. I put Soma instead of Mercy because I felt like on a scale of preference, if she came in here, she would put Venita over me. Same as fraud. He will probably put Mercy over me. So I've been feeling like the 5th shot of tequila all week.
Are you saying no one considers you the first shot?
Yeah, I don't really think I'm the first shot. Maybe that's just me bringing how I feel outside, inside. I don't really feel like I'm anybody's like, oh, yes, I need this drink. I think I'm more of the, oh, there's this drink, let me just take it, because, and that might be strange to people because I have somebody like Soma, but even with Soma, I'm just always like, but that might just be my, like my brain fucking with me. Sorry for my language. My brain, I don't know a word to replace that. That might just be my brain acting crazy.
As the saying goes, actions speak louder than words. When you return to the house, feel free to assess your ostensible friend's actions towards you.
Yes, big brother.
Do you understand?
Yes, Biggie, I understand.
Speaking of Princess, talk to Big Brother about her eviction.
I mean, it definitely did hurt me. I won't lie. I really, really liked Princess. She was so bougie. And it was very interesting to see. She was so, and it wasn't in a stuck up way. It was kind of like, these are my principles, and I'm not going, against my principles. Very funny, very dry sense of humor. I really, really, really did like her. When she first met me, she said that they told her to stay away from me because I can be away, whatever that means. So initially I was a bit skeptical about her, but I love that she was honest, and it helped me to see her go. I feel like she had so much, potential and so much more to give. But that's the thing about the house and the audience. You really don't know what they're looking for. You don't know you don't know what it is that they're searching for. Because if I were the audience, I would really be searching for somebody like a princess, somebody that's principled, has a dry sense of humor, is honest. Those are all the values I would look for if I was a stan, or if I was to stan, someone. So it helped me to see her go, right? And then there's nobody else to argue our scale of importance in your life, because princess will be like, oh, Biggie, and I'll be like, no, Biggie is my own baby, and stuff like that. But I definitely, did love her. There was a conversation going on about how living in the second week would make you feel a certain type of way. And I do get that, right? So we're only human beings, and we have blood flowing through our veins. But my only prayer is that she knows that, that it's not a her thing. It's more about like what the audience wants. And it's not that her personality is wanting or she's not doing enough, because that is also a common feeling in the house. And I had that conversation with Uriel. Sorry, I'm scatterbrained, so everything just has to go into one topic. I had a conversation with Uriel yesterday where she was like, she feels like she's not doing enough. And I feel like that's a feeling that everybody experiences. So my only prayer is that she knows that, like, she was enough, because she left quite early in her season as well. That can actually mentally be mentally tasking for someone to go through. I loved her. I feel like she deserved a chance, and she deserved to stay longer. But I also do hope, and I think she is that type of person that knows that, like, her presence was valued, and like there's nothing wrong with her personality, and she didn't need to do more than she was already doing. Personally, I think she did enough.
And who did you think would be evicted first?
I didn't know. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know who would be evicted first. Like I know I was immune, but I was also very anxious. I didn't know, because this is an all-star season, right? It's not like when you come the first time and somebody's personality is just sticking out. So you're just like, and so the audience is gravitating towards this person, right? It's not like the first time. Everybody's personality is so, like, there. For me, I feel like everybody has a presence. So I was also really curious to be like, where's the audience leaning towards? I didn't have like a name in mind. I just felt like, I was very confused. I didn't think, it's probably going to be this person, because like I said, I think everybody has a presence and everybody's so there, and I think that reflects in how we treat ourselves in the house. Everybody's just so. I didn't have anyone in mind though. I didn't think about. There's an aunt. I didn't think about anybody who could possibly be evicted first. 2 aunts actually.
Ants like sweet objects.
Thank you, Big Brother.
Talk to Big Brother about Monday's Head of House game.
B, you have to fear God. You actually have to fear God. I'm not even going to lie. What is it? I've been saying this since, because we have to find the person that thinks of the games for Head of House and ask I already told them, as a community, we have to come together after the show and go and meet the person and ask the person what we did to the person to warrant such, will I call it wickedness? Because Big Brother, in that arena, there was the head of house thing, right? In the box. And then there's the one that is not fixed. In the head of house one that is fixed, I would like to think I'm very meticulous. So I'm looking at all the shapes as you're talking. I know they even reason with you the yarn. I was just like, let me see how it's cut out. There was a triangle right at H. And that's how it was broken. It looked pissed. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I got this, you know. And I'm very good with puzzles outside. So I don't know whether it's the tension or just the time or the pressure. I don't know what it is, but I just camped in this house. And then I'm like, okay, let's start. And then I go there to pick the pieces. And it is nothing like how it is pieced. And I just feel like you people just think, yes, let's make them believe that we have it together. But they really don't. And then you now gave us 5 minutes. And for me, it's a thing of, even if somebody ordained your hands and bless your hands, the only way you'll be able to complete all of that, there were 2 puzzles in 5 minutes, is if you see a vision, as you're doing it, you are seeing it in front of you. That's the only way, because who is going to complete that in 5 minutes? You people did not now break the pieces. Big Brother, you didn't now break the pieces according to how it looked in the good ones. I did not see one single triangle. In fact, all the triangles that were there were the tiniest of triangles. They looked like chin-chin. I do not know where those fit in. It wasn't broken according to how it looked there. Now, there was this thing that looked like an arrow. It looked like an E. I tried H. I tried E. It didn't fit in. And I'm just thinking to myself, why can't we do things like, oh yeah, eat this if you don't eat it, or something about perseverance. I've just resigned to not ever being a leader, you know, in this house. And that's perfectly okay. I can't come and kill myself. I actually came here with the intention of almost killing myself in the head of house games. But the way it's going, it's like I'll go back to default setting.
I don't know how to explain it.
I mean, is truly something, you know. You say, Big Brother, can you complete it in 5 minutes? 2, head of house. Do you know how big head of house is? Then there's not that other your eye at the other side. 3, you still run. Get key. Run. Biggie. Even if you were Usain Bolt.
But I can see
even if we're Albert Einstein gone self. How is anybody doing that in 5 minutes? Let's love ourselves. Big Brother, love us. I didn't like it. It was very, 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 very bad. And it was not as if it was hard, but it was still hard. I don't know. Let's love us more. Easy things. let's we have a fair chance.
In other words, you want more puzzles.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Point taken. And what do you think of your new head of house?
Ike is definitely a very interesting person. He piques my interest. Like every time I talk to Ike, my brain is happy because I don't know how to explain Ike. He's a character. Is he funny? I don't know. Is he just nonchalant? I don't know. He has a sweet side, that I would admit, you know. During last week, during the party, when it was time for the party, he was going around helping the girls with their corsets and all of that. I don't know if it's because he's sweet or if he's plotting. But I can see that he also has a very, very strange side. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by him as like a person, not in any other way. You know, he's a very intriguing personality. I can't figure him out. I think he's a bit too unserious to be head of house, right? I don't think he can establish dominance. Although when he shouted at Ilibayi, it seemed like he could, because that was so unprovoked. So I had to even be like, why are you yelling at her? But I don't know. I think he's just like, I don't know how to describe him, honestly. I think he just is, right? He's one of those people that just is. Like, they just exist. Nothing too intense. He's not, I won't say that he doesn't have a presence, because he does have a presence. But there's just something, maybe it's a serious factor, but I've seen him be serious. But as head of house, not so much. It just seems like, because tell me why I was begging Ike to bring our plantain down for us. Previously, Kidwaya was head of house, right? And they were eating 3 square meals up there. If you see Kidwaya now, he's chubby as only God, what God knows. Chubby because he was eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They took our stuff upstairs. So I already parried about this last week. So I tell Ike, please, I don't know if it's your BFS or you that took our plantain and our sausages and some of our food stuff upstairs. I think that was, I thought it was very selfish and mean and wicked. And I'm begging Ike and our bananas, please bring our food downstairs. Please bring our food downstairs. He only brought bananas that had already been eaten out of. And I know that you give them supplies. And our plantain and our sausages, it's now had to be Venita begging me that don't worry, she'll bring it down. I feel it's like things like that, like he doesn't really take things seriously, but I do think he's a sweetheart, Sha.
You do seem intrigued.
Yeah, like I like to figure people out, and I have not figured him out.
And what do you think of Big Brother's parrots?
Of Big Brother's what?
The parrots in the main lounge.
Oh, I knew you were up to something, Big Brother, because that first day, I kept on asking everybody. I was like, there's a wire there. So what is it for? And then somebody tells me it's a camera. I'm like, no, it's not possible. I even thought it was going to fly. Like one day we'll just come, we'll see the parrots. I think it's a very, very, very nice twist. Although it was a bit underwhelming for me. Because when the parrot spoke, I started saying things that I literally do not care for what anybody in this house is saying. Now your mouth, talk up. But I think it's a nice twist, very interesting. I like the concept of it being a parrot, meaning it's inherently gossip. Nice twist. It will also be nice to hear people's secrets, whatever they say in the lounge. Although I do think that people will now start avoiding talking in the lounge. Although it is that maybe the parrot hears everything in the house and sees it. But if it's that it's the lounge, personally me, I will not be speaking in the lounge anymore. If I say something now and people will be looking for who said it. But I do think it's a nice twist, very interesting that you did that. At least now, my curiosity has been satisfied, and curiosity did not kill the cats, the new cats. And I know what the parrot is for, because every time I pass, I always went to go and look. I wanted to know what it was for. I think it's a nice touch. I don't think he would do anything though, in how the house, in how the relationships in the house will play out. Because after what was said, when the parrot spoke for the first time was said, everybody was like, okay, maybe because it wasn't anything juicy. Let's see. Maybe if he says something deeper, it will be more. But it hasn't changed the dynamic in the house at all.
And would you like to discuss anything else with Big Brother?
Let me think about it. Only actually just one thing, but it's nothing serious.
You may proceed.
So in 2021, right, when I came here, you used to end all my sessions with a little boost of confidence. And maybe because I was very, very sad when I first came in 2021, and now I'm much happier, so you don't see the need to reassure me. But I would like if you continue to, because like I said, I don't really feel like anybody's first shot of tequila in the house. So it'd be nice to go out with words of affirmation.
Angel,
Yes, big brother.
you have your person in the house.
Do I?
Wouldn't you agree?
I don't think so. But if you think so,
And why do you doubt him?
I don't know, maybe just PTSD, Sha. I don't doubt him. Like I said, it's probably just my brain messing with me.
Has he given you any reason to doubt him?
I feel like I'm in couples therapy. Well, no, I wouldn't say so. I think. I mean, sometimes I hear things, but then I talk to him about, or he comes to talk to me about it because I give him an attitude. And he's like, oh, I'm not like that. But still, the house makes you very suspicious of people.
The house also intensifies people's feelings, both good and bad.
Yeah.
You will do well to dwell on the former.
Okay, with you.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Your diary session has come to an end. You may now leave the diary room and enjoy your meal.
Thank you, B. Bye.